Right, so here's another one. So we'll try and do this a wee bit quicker. Right, so three things. We want to work out the x-intercept, so that's when y equals 0. We want to then work out the y-intercept, is when x equals 0, and then work out the turning point, and then sketch out the graph. Okay, so to work out we work out the x-intercept, right? So we can just label this 1, right? So this is when x-intercept, and that's also known as the roots, and it's when y equals 0. Okay, so that's y equals 0. What we'll do is just rewrite this out, just put 0 equals x minus 1, which is your first root, x minus 3. So we want to work out how we make this side 0. So if we'll take the first expression, I'll change the colour there, so we'll have a wee look here. Okay, so we can rewrite this, x minus 1 equals 0. If we add 1 to both sides, just to make it x equals whatever, x equals 1. Okay, so the first root, so I'll just call it root 1, is at position 1, 0. Okay, because remember, it's always y is equal to 0. If we then have a wee look at root 2, so this is x minus 3 equals 0, and add 3 to both sides, so we've got the second root at x equals 3, so now we can say root 2 is at 3, 0. Okay, now I'm not going to start sketching the graph out until we actually work out what the y-intercept. Okay, so we've got that one, right? We've got where the roots are. Now we'll look at the y-intercept, and that is when x equals 0. So I'll change the colour again. I'll just call this is part 2. Okay, so y-intercept, or y-intercept, is when x equals 0. So we just rewrite this out, but this time, so in fact I'll just rewrite it from the very start. X minus 1, x minus 3, we want to know what value y takes when x equals 0, so we'll just say equals, so that's 0, so that's 0 minus 1 is minus 1, 0 minus 3 is minus 3, and they're times in each other, so y minus 1 times minus 3, remember 2 minuses, or 2 negatives make a positive. So that y-intercept is at 3, okay? So if I then go over to this side and start sketching this out, so we've got root 1, let's see, so root 1 is at x equal 1, I'll say that's, and root 2 is at x equal 3, okay, so that's at 1, that's at 3. We've then got the y-intercept is at, that's about 3 there. And then we can start jotting this down. Okay, so one last change of the colour. So you end up having a graph. Okay, now it looks like this. That just goes up and up. Right, so that's the roots, that's the y-intercept. Okay, so we've got that, that, and that. All we're now working out is we now need to work out what the turning point is. Okay, so that's the last wee bit that we need to do. So we've done that bit as well. So what's the turning point? Well, we can work out the x-coordinate of the turning point, so that's your turning point. Now the x-coordinate is when we take the average of the two roots, so that x will equal root 1 plus root 2, divide that by 2, which equals 1 plus 3 over 2, and that is 2, which in the graphic kind of tells you that. Okay, so that turning point is at 2, but we still to work out this one. So all we do is we know the x value for it, so we just can say y equals x minus 1. So this is us working out the y value. I'll try and write a bit neater and not make these mistakes. Right, so what we do is y equals x is 2, so that's 2 minus 1, 2 minus 3. So y equals, that's 1 times minus 1. So y is at minus 1. Okay, so that's 2 minus 1. Now it's obviously not in proportion. Now I'm just going to double check. Right, so we've got these roots, that's fine. We've got the y-intercept, which is fine. Turning point, x-coordinate, yep, that's at 2. You'll have that's your line of symmetry there, in which that line of symmetry is x equal 2. Sometimes they ask you that. And then if x is 2, that's 1, 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Okay, and that is your answer for that question.